What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Man, look, I thought that the Pacers, even without Tyrese Haliburton, would be a hard out going into Game 6, man. I watched this team. I don't know why people still have this thing in their head that the Pacers are a one-dimensional team. Without Haliburton, they can't win. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And I'm not saying the Pacers are going to win Game 7, but the disrespect that the people give the Pacers makes no sense. So I thought that the Pacers could still eke it out, especially if the Thunder were bullshitting, or the Pacers just had a hot hand, or they're making it tough. But I wasn't expecting them to beat the shit out of them like this, man. It got so bad at one point that I seriously was wondering whether the Thunder were whether this was being rigged or something. Like, did the powers to be tell OKC, we want this to go 7, extend this series for financial purposes or something? Because I just didn't understand at all the effort I saw from the Thunder for the most part in this game. And I get the Pacers have a really good defensive team, man, but come on, man. One game, the Thunder looked like an all-time great defensive squad, all-time great team. The next game, they looked like shit. So the Pacers defeat the Thunder in Game 6 of the 2025 NBA Finals, 108-91. And, of course, with this victory, they force a Game 7. This is going to be the first Game 7 in an NBA Finals series since 2016, which coincidentally yesterday was the 9th anniversary of Cleveland eking out that Finals with many things going their way, of course, against the Golden State Warriors. Now, for the good news for the Thunder is that Game 7 will be at Oklahoma City. And in NBA Finals history, in the 19 Game 7s that we've had, the home team won 15 of those 19 ball games. The bad news is that the last time we've had a Game 7, the road team, the Cavaliers, beat the Warriors, and the Thunder franchise, when they were the Sonics, unfortunately for them in 1978, they lost at home to the Bullets in that Finals. So I don't know what that means or anything, but it is what it is. So for the Pacers, they had 6 players in double figures. Nesmith had 10 points. Pascal Siakam had 16 points. Nembhard had 17 points. Tyrese Haliburton, 14 points and 5 assists. Obi Toppin had 20 points to lead the team. And McConnell had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. He knew he had to step up with Tyrese Haliburton hobbled. And they were able to come away with an impressive victory. And the final margin is not really indicative of how dominant the Pacers were for much of this game. And the funny thing about it, the Pacers start off slowly. They missed their first 8 shots. They only shot 41% from the floor for the game. But, the Pacers had a stretch. First quarter, second quarter, and the last half of the third quarter, I would say, where they were in fuego. They had a stretch where they just couldn't miss, embedded in those cold streaks, the beginning of the first quarter, the start of the third quarter, and the end of the second half of the fourth quarter. After starting off missing their first 8 shots and going down 10-2 to the Thunder, the Pacers then went on a 68-32 run, and that pretty much was the ball game. The Pacers' biggest lead was 31 points after 3 quarters, even though both teams couldn't find the backside of a barn at the beginning of the third quarter. But the Pacers, after the Thunder kind of chipped away again at the lead, bringing it down like the 18-17, and you thought maybe this game would get a little more competitive, the Pacers pushed it right back out. And I forget the guy's name, but the dude that looked like old boy from a different world hit the 3-pointer at the buzzer to push it to a 90-60 lead going into fourth quarter. And the game was over. Look, the Thunder were trash, but in particular, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, garbage. Chet Holmgren has been garbage for a lot of this series, man. I mean, he's had good games, but when he sucks, he sucks. 4 points, 2 of 9 from the floor. Lou Dort, 1 of 5 from 3-point range, 3 points, including 1 air ball that was the worst. That might have been the worst air ball I have ever seen from an open player. For a guy that was open, I don't think I've ever seen a worse air ball than the one I saw him chuck up in the third quarter, I think it was. That shit was absolutely disgusting, bro. Disgusting. The only guy that played well for the Thunder was Isaiah Joe, 11 points, 3 of 4 from the floor, 2 of 3 from downtown. Jalen Williams, after a 40-point explosion, 16 points, 6 of 13 from the floor. The Pacers' defense was crazy, man. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 21 points, 7 of 15 from the floor, 8 turnovers. 8 turnovers. The Thunder had 21 turnovers as a team. They only shot 42% from the floor. There was only 8 of 30 from downtown, contrasted to the Pacers, 15 of 42. And their lack of shooting, in particular from 3-point range, and their turnovers is what destroyed them in this contest, man. And they wasted a great opportunity to get a victory on the road with a hobbled Tyrese Haliburton. Now, if you're the Thunder, if you're not motivated to come out in Game 7 and beat the shit out of this team, because I think we're going to see the real Thunder show up in Game 7. I think. I don't know if this is going to be a close competitive game. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I don't think the Thunder are going to come out and pussyfoot around this time. Okay. This has been a great series. I see a lot of people complaining about this series. And at this point, I just think, honestly, a lot of niggas just don't really like basketball. They like the drama. They like the narratives. They claim they don't like certain shit. But their idea of a great team is, and I get it, they've been brainwashed by the media. They think that a great squad is a squad with 2 or 3 superstars who they can dick ride. And, they don't get the concept of a great team. You know what I'm saying? That's why when they look at the Pacers, they say, well, how can that team be great? They suck. Because they don't understand that basketball is a team game. Their stupid, limited minds don't seem to concept that. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Detroit Pistons of the mid-2000s. They were a great team. Didn't have a bunch of superstars on the squad. But anyway, Shai got to step up next time. Not give him no excuses. And, you know, no excuses, man. I got to be honest with you, man. I'm going to say something because I don't have no agendas. It ain't like I'm just rooting for one team to win, even though I did like the Pacers. But, I'm not necessarily rooting for them. When I say like the Pacers, I mean I like them to go to the finals, but I'm not rooting for anybody in this finals. You know what I'm saying? Some people, I get the impression that they're rooting for certain teams or whatever, so they could be right, whatever. But Shai, look, if Shai comes out and has a great Game 7, or if the Thunder come out and just play very, very well, more than likely Shai's going to get the MVP, right? The Finals MVP and the championship. But I got to admit, man, I don't see Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. I see Shai. And some of the hyperbole that's starting to come out here when it comes to Shai, don't get me wrong, the Joker fans be pissing me off with the free throw merchant and all that dumb shit. But at the same time, I'm seeing Rick Bucher say that Shai, if he wins a championship, he's a top 7 all-time point guard. How? This is what I'm talking about. This is why people start hating players. Let this man build a career before you start saying he's a top 5 this and top 7. What the fuck is that shit? Where was Gary Payton on your list? He's had a Russell Westbrook because he won a championship? So what Russ did and what Russ has put up for his career don't mean nothing? And if Russ' career don't mean shit, why is Chris Paul still popping up on people's all-time 5 list? What the fuck has Chris Paul won? But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.